Welcome students. Hope you are doing good. Right now we are on the last topic of this chapter, that is barriers of effective communication and ways to overcome it. Now coming to the next topic, barriers of communication. Now proper and effective communication is very essential for any manager to perform his functions. Effective communication, when we say, it means that जो भी आप कहना चाहते हैं वो वैसा ही समझा जाए जैसा आप उसको समझाना चाहते हैं. That means a message is understood in the same manner as you intend it should be understood, right? If there is a lack of effective communication in an organization, then all functions of management cannot be performed effectively and efficiently. So, basically, the success of all the functions of management depend upon how effective the communication is in the organization. But the breakdowns in the communication, they make communication ineffective. And this breakdown in the communication, they are called barriers to communication. Now let's discuss the different barriers one by one. The first one being unclear message. If you have not been able to choose the right words to express your message, it may not be understood in the same manner as you intend for. अगर आप अपनी बात कहने के लिए सही शब्दों का इस्तेमाल नहीं करते या स्पेसिफिक शब्दों का इस्तेमाल नहीं करते तो आप जैसा चाहते हैं सामने वाला आपका मैसेज उस तरीके से समझ नहीं सकता. Let's understand this with the example. If the boss tells his subordinate, I want you to finish off this task soon. Now, here he is not being specific. यहाँ बॉस ने कह दिया कि ये काम तुम्हें जल्दी खत्म करना है. अब जल्दी मतलब क्या? 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour or maybe next morning. So, similarly, the employee may understand it as that is to suit his convenience that I can do this task by tomorrow morning. So there is a gap between the understanding of the boss and the subordinate. अब यहाँ बॉस के मैसेज में और एम्प्लॉय की समझ में एक गैप क्रिएट हो गया. नेक्स्ट, faulty translation. If there is a message has been given to the workforce in the factory who only understand Hindi and the manager has given a message in English, so if the translator makes a mistake in translating the message into another language, then the whole meaning of message is going to change. अगर जो ट्रांसलेटर है उसने ट्रांसलेट ही गलत किया तो पूरा मतलब ही बदल जाएगा. Unclear assumptions. Sometimes we make certain assumptions which may be interpreted differently. Like, let's understand with an example. Like, a boss may tell his subordinates to take care of guests. Subordinate may understand taking care of guests would mean just receiving them at the airport and dropping them to the hotel. Now, whereas boss understanding of care, taking care was receiving at the airport, dropping them to hotel and taking out for lunch, taking out for sightseeing and so on and so forth. So again, there was a gap of understanding between the person who is sending the message and the receiver. Next is improper selection of media. Specific mediums are selected to send the and receive the message. If these mediums are not selected properly, then barriers to communications are created. It's a very obvious thing. If you are not selecting a proper medium to send your message or receive your message, that means the meaning of the whole message will be changed and it will create a barrier. Next is overburden in communication. In big industries, there is a constant and continuous exchange of communication. If information is transmitted and received by someone who may be overburdened, then instead of maintaining precisionness, precision means accuracy of information, he will prefer to perform his function. So he will rather giving importance to precision, he will be just doing the job for the sake of doing it. Therefore, company does not get correct information and hurdles in communications are created if message and informations are ignored. Next comes ignorance towards message. Many times managers or bottom level employees remain inattentive and careless regarding the message. Therefore, company does not get the correct information. So what happens here? So for example, if bottom management is sending a report to the higher management and if they are careless in sending those informations or reports, so in return or as a result what happens, the proper decisions cannot be taken with the improper information. Next comes distrust and fear. Distrust and fear means what? If the sender and receiver do not trust each other, they may not understand each other, they may even not want to understand message that has been given in the original sense. And the lack of trust may be due to past experiences. The last barrier which we are going to discuss is lack of planning. If organization policy is not in tune with free flow of communication, it may render communication ineffective. If organizational policy in is such that you have to follow the chain of command, you have to follow the official line of communication. So there's not going to be any free flow of any communication or any information. Now in last slides we have understood the barriers of effective communication. So what can be done to remove those barriers? So let us discuss the measures to overcome the barriers of communication. Now communication is an act of conveying meaning from one entity or group to another through the use of mutually understood signs and semiotic rules. This is what actually communication is. But we need to understand that it is not strange that though we all are communicating since our infancy, still is a communication problem that we face in our life. We often find ourselves stumbled and misled during the reception or delivery of an information. This happens in a daily social overtures and even in organization when barriers of communication become a root cause of many problems and could hamper the progress and ongoing projects. Almost 75% of people involving in interpersonal communication stumble and make mistakes as either they were not able to understand the facts or or information, or they are not properly conveyed to them. So, misinterpretation of facts, misappropriation, misapprehension, misunderstand, and closed door echoes with intense noise are the barriers of communication that realize the target level of communication. The effective communication becomes really impossible due to the many of the barriers that we have done before also. So now we are going to find out the ways which are going to help us in making the communication effective and removing the hindrance of communication. We will discuss 8 to 9 measures here. The first one is clarify ideas before communication. The person sending the communication should be extremely clear in his mind about what he wished to say. He should know the objective of his message and therefore he should arrange his thought in the proper order. Second, communicate according to the need of receiver. The sender of the message should prepare the structure the message not according to his own level or an ability, but he should keep in mind the level, understanding और the environment of the receiver. अगर हम किसी को कोई मैसेज भेज रहे हैं तो हमें वो मैसेज उस मैसेज का जो स्ट्रक्चर है वो हमें हमारी लेवल हमारी एबिलिटी के अकॉर्डिंग नहीं फ्रेम करना, रिसीवर के व्यू पॉइंट से फ्रेम करना है. थर्ड, कंसल्ट अदर बिफोर communication. At the time of planning of communication, suggestions should be invited from the all of the person concerned. Its main advantage is that all those people who are consulted at the time of preparing the communication plan will contribute to the success of communication system. Number fourth is be aware of language, tone and content of message. The sender should take care of fact that the message should be framed in a very clear and the beautiful language. The tone of a message should not injure the feeling of receiver. As far as possible, the content of the message should be brief and excessive use of technical words should be avoided. Next comes convey things of help and value to the listener. The need and interest of the receiver should specially be kept in mind. Communication is more effective in such situation. Next is ensure proper feedback. The purpose of feedback is to find out whether the receiver has properly understood the meaning of information received or not. In the face-to-face communication, the reaction on the face of receiver could be understood. But in case written communication or some other sort of communication, some proper method of feedback should be adopted by the sender. Seventh is consistency of message. The information sent to the receiver should not be self-contradictory. It should be in accordance with the objective, policies, program, and techniques of the organization. When a new message has been sent in the place of old one, It should be always make a mention of change, otherwise it can be create some doubt. Eighth, follow up communication. In order to make communication effective, the management should regularly try to know the weakness of the communication system. In this context, the effort should be made to know whether to lay more stress upon the formal or informal communication would be appropriate. Similarly, the suggestion should be invited in respect of medium of communication as an oral, written or gesture to know as which medium will be more effective and appropriate. The last measure is be a good listener. See, it is an essential of the communication that both sender and the receiver should be very good listeners. Both should listen to each other's point of view within an attention, patience, and positive attitude. A sender can receive much relevant information by being a good listener. So, these were the different measures to overcome the barriers of communication. So today we are completing here our chapter directing. So as a final thought, if we want to understand what is directing, the directing can be compared with a teacher's job or with a teacher. How? The managerial function of directing is like the activities of teacher in a classroom. In order to teach, a teacher has to guide his student, maintain discipline, inspire them, and lead them to the desired goal. It is a very important function in the management of any enterprise. It helps the manager in ensuring quality performance of job by the employees and achievement of organizational goal. It involves supervision, communication, and providing leadership to subordinate and motivating them to contribute to their best of the capabilities. That's all from me. We have finished our unit today. I hope you have understood it. If you really liked it, if you really feel it is helpful, actually it will be a very helpful thing to you, then you may share it with your friends as well. Okay? Thank you so much.